Good evening, all. Good evening, all. So, happy evening. So, welcome to today's class. So, we'll first respond to your messages and then we'll get started with today's class. Okay. So, but before I respond to your message, so I have this question. So, since we are doing plant tissue, so I was just wondering, do you really think soil is necessary for the growth of the plant? What do you think is your opinion? So think about this. Okay, I'll show you the answer. Meanwhile, let me see who and all messaged me. So Shravana was quickest to message me. So good evening, Shravana. So then Pranamya, Samriddhi, Tanisha, then Priyanka, Yash, Sneha, Dia, Amok, Shraddha, Sri Hari, Kunal, Vinayak, then Sri Krishna, Priyanka, Bharat, then Dia, Vinayak, okay, Shaurya, and everyone else. Okay, so good evening, all. Okay, welcome to today's class. Okay, so very nice. So the question is, do you really think uh, soil is necessary for the growth of the plant? If you think yes, then click on the yes icon. Okay, if you think no, no, sir, soil is not required. Okay, then click on the no icon. Okay, so let me see your opinion. The question is, do you think soil is necessary for growth of the plant? Okay, growth and development of the plant, because all of us know that roots go deep into the soil to obtain minerals, water, and everything. Okay, but do you really think soil is necessary? Okay, if you think it as yes, then click on the yes icon. If you think no, sir, a soil is just a side actor. Okay, soil is not required. Okay, then you click on no icon. So by the way, so let us see the answer. So I have this very interesting way of farming, which is taking a lot of scope nowadays. Okay, so called as vertical farming. There's also something called hydroponics, if you have heard or not. Okay, so this is some amazing research that they're doing, and I really hope they make it into the commercial world as soon as possible. So on your screen, so let us watch this amazing video about vertical farming. Okay, so vertical farming. So there are different things called hydroponics, aeroponics, everything. So today we will just watch one such amazing concept, okay, which they are making into reality. Okay, and we really wish this happens soon. So on your screen, so you will see this video, and after this video, again, I'm going to ask the same question. Do you think soil is necessary?
But this old industrial neighborhood is an agricultural oasis.
Okay, so very nice. So that was a really great idea, and implementing the idea also. Okay, so this is your vertical farming. So as you saw in the video, okay, so they are finally coming up with techniques which will help them to grow the plants without the help of soil. But then you may ask, sir, they need minerals. How will they get the minerals? So they will supply the minerals in the form of solutions. Okay, so in the pipe or in the this vertical farming, okay, containers, they supply what a plant needs, and they will also provide the sunlight in the form of artificial light and everything, so that the plants grow at a very fast rate, day and night. Okay, now the question that I was asking, okay, do you think soil is necessary for the growth and development of the plant? Okay, same question which I asked in the beginning. So now, after watching the video, what do you think? Is soil necessary? If you think soil is necessary, click on yes. If you think soil is not necessary, then click on no. Okay, so very nice. Now everybody change their opinion, so they are clicking on no icon. But oh my god, let me tell you the twist. The twist is soil is definitely necessary for the growth of the plant, because this idea what they're doing, it is only for few varieties of plant. You cannot grow sugarcane like this, you cannot grow wheat or ragi like this. Okay, this vertical farming is having a drawback or a limitation. That is, only few varieties of plants are successful in this idea. Okay, that is your lettuce. Okay, such leafy vegetables are the ones which can be successfully grown, but other plants and all crops, no man, they have to come up with something amazing. Okay, something different. Okay, so please do not get so influenced by the things you think. You come up with explanations. Every plant cannot be grown like this. Imagine banyan tree. Do you think it will happen like this? Absolutely no. The plants need a lot of support. The plants are stationary. It needs soil in one or the other way. The roots need soil. Okay, so this is just a research thing which they're doing for few varieties of the plants. Okay, especially the leafy vegetables. Okay, but soon I'm pretty sure they'll come up with some amazing idea or technique which can be implemented for each and every type of plant. Okay, but this is a good step forward. This is a good step forward. So I really hope they do something with this concept. They take it to the advanced level. Okay, so very nice, Papa man. Most of you got, like, completely taken over by the video. But you please think. Okay, do not straight away believe everything. Question yourself. Okay, question yourself. Will it be possible for other conditions? As a science student, you cannot easily believe things. Oh my god, you are not like common people. Okay, you have science. That's the greatest asset. Think, you decide, you take examples, you compare, and you come up with analysis. That is how you become a real science student. Okay, so anyways, so coming back to our class. So yesterday, so we were learning about the xylem. Okay, so we finished the simple permanent tissue. We started with the complex permanent tissue. Okay, so we'll continue from there. Okay, so in the complex permanent tissue, okay, as you saw about the xylem, okay, which helps in transportation of water. Okay, and the phloem, which helps in transportation of food. So I told you how to remember also yesterday. So if you do not remember, so then you can just write here. So W, X, Y, Z. So this is water. So this is xylem. So xylem helps in transportation of water. You cannot write ulta pulta. Okay. So very good. Do not get confused. Xylem is for water. So phloem is for food. Okay. Transportation of food is done by phloem. Transportation of water is done by xylem. Okay. So very nice. So yesterday we wrote few characteristics of xylem. So today we will continue in detail about xylem. Okay, and let us see how xylem is helping in the transportation of water. What is the mechanism and all those things. So these are the things that we wrote yesterday. It is taken from the Greek word called xylos, which means wood. It's also called as the plumbing system. So it helps in transportation of water and minerals, but in only one direction. That is upward direction only. Water and minerals cannot come down. They will only go up. They will only go up. Please think about this. They have to go against the gravitational force. Okay, they have to go against the gravitational force, and especially when the tree is very tall. When the tree is extremely tall, just like your redwood forest. Okay, so the name of the tallest tree. Who remembers the name of the tallest tree? You can type and send in the chat. Okay, the name of the tallest tree. So we have been doing this for so many times. Okay, so very nice. It's Hyperion. Okay, it's Hyperion. Yes was quick to answer, then Swayam. Okay, so then Shaurya. So the name of the tallest tree is Hyperion. So as you see, all this redwood forest and all, or any other tall tree, such huge height, water should be transported, and it is going against the gravitational force. Okay, against the gravitational force. How is xylem doing this amazing work? I cannot pump water from my tank sump to the syntax tank. Okay, I need water pump. In your home also, there will be a water pump to pump water from your whatever sump or in your bore well to the tank that you have kept on top of your home. I hope all of you have seen this tank. Okay, the syntax tank kept on your home. Okay, so on the top of your home are these tanks. Okay, in order to pump water to the tank, you please verify whether you are staying in your home or in the apartment, wherever there is a motor. Okay, for first floor, from ground floor to second floor, third floor only, they need pump. In that way, this xylem is able to pump water till the top of the tree without electricity. Okay, how effectively it is doing, let us try to understand the process in today's class. Okay, it's a very simple mechanism, but a very effective mechanism. Okay, but the only problem is slow process. Okay, very slow process. But anyways, so let us continue with the topic. Okay, so today we'll be discussing about the xylem, all these different parts. Okay, all these different types. Okay, so one by one. So let us start from tracheids. Okay, let us start from tracheids and vessels. Okay, so what is happening? So let us first write the point. Okay, so the tracheids. Okay, the tracheids and vessels. These are our hero. Okay, so tracheids and vessels. They help in the transportation of the water. Okay, and vessels help in the transportation of water and minerals. Okay, so hence they are also called by another name. Okay, so that is trachary elements. So since they help in the transportation of water and minerals. Okay, from the root, of course, from the root till the shoots or to every part of the plant. Okay, so this is our real working people in xylem. Okay, so tracheids and vessels, they are the ones. Okay, so they are the ones who are helping in the transportation of water and minerals. Okay, so very good. So now after this, the next point you should be aware is that they have a long tube. Okay, so long elongated tube like structures. So I'm just going to write here. So they have long elongated tube like structures. Okay, which will help in the transportation of water. Just like you have pipes in your home. Okay, consider these are the pipes in the plants. Okay, so long elongated tube like structures, who our tracheids and vessels. But then if both are doing the same job, why do we have a different name? Okay, why do we have a different name? So now I come to the next question. Tracheids and vessels, are they same or different? What do you think? If you think they are same, click on the yes icon. Do you think they are different? Then click on the no icon. Okay, you see we wrote here that tracheids and vessels, they help in the transportation of water. But then what is the difference between them? Okay, if they are not different, because majority of you have clicked that tracheids and vessels, they are different. What is the difference? They're doing the same function though. Okay, they're doing the same function of transportation. How it is different? So that we will write it now. Of course they are different, they're not same. Okay, simple common sense. If they are same, why will they keep different names? Okay, they are not same. That is why they have kept different names. Okay, that is why they have kept different names. So the difference is in their structure. Along with that, the role or the function they play. Okay, slightly different. Okay, slightly different, but almost the same role. Transportation, it will help, but in their own way. Okay, in their own way. So how? So I'm going to write here. This they won't ask in the exam, but you should know. You should be aware of how tracheids and vessels, they are different from each other. Okay. So first, let us write about tracheids. So the interesting thing about tracheids is that how its structure is different from the structure of vessels. So tracheids are usually small. Okay. I'm just going to write here short. And the important thing is the diameter, because I told these are long tube-like structures. So they're all like these tubes. Okay. So these tracheids have small diameter. Okay. Small diameter. So that means, so their water capacity is less. Okay. Next, so they do not have any holes. Okay. You use this technical term, okay, called perforations. Okay, because it's important, you should use the technical terms. So these are means holes, that's all. Okay, so small tiny holes, so not simple holes, tiny holes. Okay, so tiny holes. So they do not have this small, they do not have this tiny holes or this perforations in their structures. Okay, so in their structures. So the next thing what we have is our vessels. So what exactly is the structure or the nature of these vessels? So just the opposite of tracheids. So they are long. Okay, so they are long. And of course, again, it's just the opposite of tracheids. So they have big diameter. Okay, so they have large diameter. So their water transporting capacity is more compared to tracheids. Okay, compared to tracheids. Then of course they have perforations. Okay, so they have perforations. Perforations is present. And comparatively, vessels do better water transportation compared to tracheids. Okay, so I'll just write here efficient water transportation. Who? Vessels. Efficient water transportation. So but now you can ask, sir, if vessels is doing better job, then we can have vessels everywhere. Why do you have tracheids? You cannot have vessels everywhere, because you see vessels are long. So there are some parts, so where the plant do not require such long tubular structures. You only think everywhere you will not put long pipes. There are some places where you put small pipes. Okay, there's some places where you put small pipes, and there's some places where you put long pipes. Okay, so both are required. So here also consider in a similar way. Tracheids are the smaller, smaller tube like structures, whereas vessels are your long tube like structures. That's all. Okay, so together both of them, they help in the transportation of water and minerals in the plants. Okay, so very nice. So this was about your vessels and tracheids. So if you understood till this much, you can click on the yes icon. Okay, if you understood till this much, you can click on the yes icon. Okay, so some of you have asked questions. So I'll do one thing. Okay, so I can just take up your questions so later. Okay, because it will just again deviate from the topic. Okay, if it is topic related questions, okay, I can definitely answer. If it is something else you are asking, so we can just do it little late. Okay, so at the end. So Sri Krishna is asking, okay, but xylem will give pressure to water. Xylem will not give pressure to the water. Xylem is just the tissue which helps in the water transportation. So pressure is developed because of other mechanisms. Okay. So do tracheids have efficient water transportation system? Of course. Okay. See, it is just a comparison. That's all. Compared to tracheids, vessels are better because they are long, they are large diameter, and they have perforations. Okay, so they have holes in which the water can be transported from one part to another part. Okay, so with the hole only they will go. If there's no hole, how can they go? Okay, then what is happening in tracheids? So tracheids are short distances, that's all. Tracheids have short distances. The function of perforation is to pass through it. The water can pass through the holes. Okay, water can pass through the holes. So in your textbook there's a diagram. Okay, you can definitely look into the diagram part. Okay, so moving on. Okay, so moving on. So the next important thing is our other parts. We learned about tracheids and vessels, but what about xylem parenchyma and xylem fibers? Okay, so what do they do? Okay, so what do they do in the transportation of water? They don't help in the transportation of water. So they are just assisting. Okay, so they are just present with the xylem so that it can assist the xylem. So what I'll do here, so I'll just write here. So the entire thing. Okay, so xylem component as well as their function, so that you know everything about everybody. Okay, so over here, the first thing we wrote about tracheids as well as vessels. So they both help in the transportation. Okay, so what is their job? So they help in the transport. So Arpita, I'll come back to your doubt because your doubt is related to meristematic tissue and we are doing the complex tissue. So I hope you understand. It will take me 5 classes backwards. Okay, so that is why I said other concept related doubt, so we can do it later. If you have doubt regarding the topic which I'm doing right now, so I'll be happy to clarify. Otherwise, you can just please wait. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, so this is tracheids. So the function is to transport water and minerals. So the same thing vessels is also doing. Okay, so the next one is xylem parenchyma. Okay, so xylem parenchyma. So what is the role of this xylem parenchyma? Storage. Okay, so parenchyma cells, they cannot transport anything, they can only store. Okay, storage. Along with storage, so sometimes they help, only sometimes. Okay, sometimes help in sideways conduction of water. Okay, sideways conduction of water, only sometimes. Okay, so that is your xylem parenchyma. So the last one what we have is xylem fibers. Okay, the last one what we have is xylem fibers. Okay, so these xylem fibers, so their only job is to provide support. Okay, to provide structural support to our xylem. Okay, so these are your components, and along with these components, the functions also I have written over here. So now with this idea, so let us go on to the next topic, so which is phloem. Okay, so this is your xylem. So the whole purpose, how the whole mechanism of how the xylem is able to transport water is because of the pressure difference created. Okay, so during the transpiration, so there's a pressure difference. We call that as transpiration pull. Okay, so we call that as the transpirational pull. So because of the transpirational pull or the pressure difference, the xylem is able to transport water. Okay, so along with this, so there's something amazing happening also in detail, which you will learn in 10th standard, chapter number 6, and 11th standard, chapter number 4. Okay, if you want to know exactly the mechanism of the transportation, so you just have to wait. Okay. Okay, fine. So this is your, about xylem. So everything, so we have written. So the xylem parenchyma, it's just the characteristics of parenchyma itself. Okay, it is just a special type of parenchyma present in the xylem. Okay, so the xylem fibers are just like your dead cells. Okay, so they don't have life. Okay, they are dead cells. Okay, they are just there to provide the support. Okay, so this is about the xylem, we have written everything what we need, much more than what we need. Okay, so this is xylem over. So next we have to go to phloem, so which is the next topic. So I'll also write here the mechanism. So mechanism, or the technique in which this works. Mechanism. So transpirational pull, or the pressure difference, helps in the transportation of water. Okay, helps in the transportation of water in plants. So in detail about the mechanism, so you will learn in 10th standard 6th chapter life processes, 11th standard 4th chapter transportation in plants you will learn. Okay, so now next topic, so what we have is phloem. Okay, so I will do it over here. So positive thought, I'll do it later. Okay, so xylem is done. Okay, so now we move ahead to phloem. Okay, so before I start phloem, I want you to see in detail what is happening in this complex tissues. So let us watch this video first, and then we will learn about phloem. Was quite a decent video, so based on how the xylem is able to do it. So what is the technique on by which the transportation of water is taking place? So sir was repeatedly mentioning about the name of the method or the technique due to which transportation of water is taking place from the roots till the top and every part of the plant. Okay, so very nice. Okay, so Manya, correct. Okay, so I'm correct. So Priyanka, not exactly. Okay, so Kunal, correct. Okay, so the whole important thing that I want you to notice here is the mechanism. So that is transpiration pull. Okay, the transpiration pull, or the pressure difference which is created because of the transpiration. Okay, that is the main important reason. Okay, so due to which the transportation of water is taking place. Okay, and so once it's been transported to the parts of the plant, so the water will reach the other minute parts of the plant. Okay, so using the uh, osmosis or diffusion and everything. Okay, so but the important job is to reach all parts of the plant. Okay, that is done with the help of this pressure difference. But you did not notice the video carefully. You see, transpiration or the water loss. Okay, so what is happening over here? That is happening in the morning. Okay, what happens in the night? Because in the night, you don't have sun, photosynthesis illa. Okay, water loss illa. Okay, then how is plant transporting water in the night? Did you think about this? So please think about this, how it is doing in the night. Okay, so I'm going to tell you later, okay, what is happening in the night. Okay, how water is transported. So let us see if you can tell this. Okay, so think about this. Think about this. So now, so we'll go ahead with the flowing part. Okay, so we go ahead with the flowing part. So let us see what is happening in the phloem. Okay, so by the way, some interesting answers, but no, not exactly. That's not correct. There's something else happening in the night. You think how plant is able to transport water in night. Okay, so the next thing, so what will start is the phloem. So I'll write here about phloem. So phloem is different. Okay, the mechanism, the the whole way of transportation is comparatively different from your xylem. So what is happening in phloem? So let us try to understand about phloem. Okay, so phloem, the word is taken from the Greek word called phloes. Okay, so which means bark. Okay, so the bark of the tree, what is there? No, so it loosely translates it to bark. Okay, so but anyways, so we are interested in its responsibility. Okay, the phloem, it transports food, it transport food to different parts of the plant, to different parts of the plant. Okay, so you may also call this as glucose, amino acids, everything, because the food of the plant is basically that. Okay, the glucose, amino acids, proteins. Okay, so here there's something else happening. Okay, the mechanism is called translocation. Okay, so I'm just going to write here. So mechanism. This process of transportation of food in plants, we call this method as translocation. Translocation. Just like you have transpirational pull in xylem, so in phloem, the mechanism is called translocation. Okay. But anyways, so you need to notice here carefully about the direction. Okay, so the transportation is bidirectional. It can go up or down, everything, whereas xylem only upwards. Okay, the transportation is up or down, both bidirectional. The transportation is bidirectional. Okay, I'll mention here in the bracket itself, that is upwards as well as downwards. Upwards and downwards. Okay, so nice. So now, so here, so you need to understand about the components. Okay, the components present in our phloem. So what components are present in the phloem? So let us try to write the components. So here only next to that itself, I'll write the function also. So the first one, so important job of transportation is done by sieve tubes. So this is your hero in phloem. Okay, so what is the job of sieve tubes? The sieve tubes are the ones which are doing the transportation. So I will write here, so transportation of food. And here the sieve tubes, so they also have the perforations. Okay, so perforations are present. Perforations are present. So whatever I write in the bracket, that is just extra thing related to that component. Okay, so along I'll just change a different color. Okay, perforations are present. So small holes are present through which the food particles can pass through it. Okay, so next, so this is an efficient, okay, this is an efficient transportation taking place in the sieve tubes. Okay, so now along with sieve tubes, there's somebody else also who is helping. So those cells are your companion cells, as the name indicates. Okay, so as the name indicates, the companion cells. So what is their job? They give company. Okay, so they act as companion for the sieve tubes. So their whole purpose is to assist or to help the sieve tubes in transportation. So helps the sieve tubes in transportation. Okay, so now there's a lot of energy which is spent in transporting of transporting of food, okay, glucose, amino acids in the plant. Okay, the energy spent, you remember we learned about something called ATP in your chapter called cell. Who knows the full form of ATP? You learned that in mitochondria, energy is produced. The energy is in the form of ATP. What is this ATP? You remember? Okay, very nice. You can just type and send. So many of you reply, and the first person to reply. First person to reply is Yash, then Sneha, then Suhani. Okay, very nice. Okay, adenosine triphosphate. So very good. Happy that you remember. Do not forget the previous topics. Everything is connected. Okay, you should know about the previous topics. Okay, so adenosine triphosphate. So very good. Okay, and many of you, sent the answer. Very nice. So ATP is spent. The energy is spent in transportation of food in the plants. But surprisingly, energy is not spent in transportation of water. Energy is only spent in the transportation of food. Think about this. Okay, think about this. Why? Okay, so tomorrow you please ask again. I will tell. Or if you can tell me right now in the chat, I'll be impressed. Okay, so energy is only spent in transportation of food. Okay, in plants, but energy is not spent in transportation of water in the plants. So that is how great xylem is. So xylem is doing the job without spending any energy. Okay, most of the energy in the plant is spent on transportation of food to different parts of the plant. Okay, so think about that. Okay, think about that and ask me again. So I will tell you. Okay, so the next thing is your phloem. Okay, so phloem parenchyma. Okay, so phloem parenchyma. So just like you have xylem parenchyma, in the similar manner, you have phloem parenchyma. What is the job? Storage. Storage of what? Storage of food. That's all. Okay, so it helps in the storage. So I'll just write here storage. So storage of food, amino acids, glucose, everything. Okay, so last you have phloem fibers. Okay, the last what we have, just like you have fibers in xylem, same way you have fibers in phloem also. Okay, so now this phloem fibers. Okay, so this phloem fibers, so they help in providing structural support. Providing structural support. Okay, so these are your points regarding phloem. Okay, so in simple way. So this is all you just need to know. So what I'll do now, okay, is that as I've mentioned here, so I'll just quickly run with the summary. Okay, summary of what? Summary of xylem and phloem. Okay, summary of xylem and phloem. Okay, so you see, do not underestimate or do not neglect the role of the phloem parenchyma or the phloem fibers, because you see, everything you cannot transport every time. You have to store some things, okay, so that you can transport it when it is required. Okay, so because the growing parts of the plant, they require very high amount of food. At that time, the phloem will store that food in the parenchyma, and then when it is required, it will send it to the required part of the plant. Okay, so for example, morning you prepare breakfast, your mother will prepare breakfast. Okay, whatever she prepares, you will eat. Very nice. But your mother is smart. She will prepare little extra also, and she will store it in the fridge. Okay, or somewhere. Okay, so that after 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, before lunch, if you still feel like eating, you can definitely open your fridge and eat it. Okay, why do you have fridge? You have fridge for storage, so that it doesn't get spoiled. The same way, you have parenchyma, both in phloem as well as xylem for storage. Okay, that acts as your extra, bonus. Okay, or extra substance which is present. When required, they use it. Okay, and what about fibers? These fibers are giving support specifically, exclusively to the phloem. Phloem fibers give support only to phloem. Okay, xylem fibers give support only to xylem. Okay, they will just do their job. Consider them as the personal bodyguard. Okay, Modi ji's bodyguard will give personal security to Modi ji only. If Modi ji's watchman is dying, they will not help. They will only focus on Modi ji. That's all. Okay, because for them, Modi ji is important, not Modi ji's watchman. Okay, because the bodyguard is assigned for Modi ji. Okay, so think like that. So please, before asking, okay, so you also should think. I told now, as a science student, you should only ask questions and you should only try to come up with the possible answers. You cannot expect answers. Okay, so you think, you use your brain. Okay, you please use the knowledge that you have gained. Okay, the best thing is when you can answer your own questions. That is when you have properly learned the topic. Okay, so you have properly learned the topic. Okay, so please next time you think, you try to come up with the answer. Okay, and see if the answer is correct or wrong. Sometimes it may be wrong, but that's fine. At least you came up with your reasoning or justification. Okay, so that is about the phloem. Okay, so real quick, so I just want to show you about the phloem, and then we'll head towards the summary. Okay, so let us see about phloem. Way. Okay, so you saw here, so how the translocation is taking place with the help of the energy. So what is the term that they used, okay, to express this translocation? Okay, sir kept on using this technical term, okay, because of which the translocation is happening. Okay, so what is the technical term? Very nice, Samruddhi is correct. Okay, Samruddhi is correct. So others, you're close to the answer but not correct. Okay, Samruddhi told correct answer. Okay, the question is, translocation is possible due to dash. Okay, so due to dash. Okay, so translocation is possible due to the energy spent. Okay, because they need energy to do this translocation. The technical term used is active transport. Okay, the technical term used is active transport. Okay, so translocation is an active transport mechanism where energy is spent for the transportation. Okay, so energy is spent in the transportation. So you also have passive transportation. So I hope you can cleverly guess, what do you think is passive transportation? You can type and send in the answer. So let me see. Active transportation, energy is spent to transport. What do you think is passive transportation? Very nice. Okay, Shri Krishna correct. So then Samruddhi, Priyanka, everybody. Okay, very nice. See, all of you are smart. You can understand the things without me telling only, because you have knowledge. You have already learned important things. So use all that and you can definitely answer your own questions. So correct answer, passive transport, no energy used. Without energy spending, you are able to transport. Okay, so very nice. So this is what I mean. Okay, so now you are growing up. Okay, so after 10th standard, when you go to college, nobody will entertain you. You have to develop your own skills of studying. Okay, so you have to be smart. You should know to answer your own questions. Okay, so most of them, some of them you may not be able to answer, so that time you should take help. But every time, don't depend on others. Okay, you are self dependent, so depend on yourself. Your knowledge is very important. Okay, but please discuss. Don't be arrogant that whatever you do is only the correct. Okay, so discuss, try to know others answers as well. That is always gonna help. Knowledge sharing is important. Okay, so very good. So that was all about phloem. So I'll just do this summary. Okay, so what I was planning to do about this summary of xylem and phloem in the next class. Okay, so animal tissues also, I just wanted to start but I could not. Okay, so this is done. Okay, so now we'll head towards the quiz. So please quickly type www.kahoot.it. Okay, so on your screen now, I will show the game pin. So quickly enter this game pin and join the quiz. Okay, so do not wait for me. You join the website. If you have an app, open the app. Okay, so be ready. So I will load the video as of now. And once the game pin is displayed, I will share it. Okay, so but you don't waste time. You type www.kahoot.it and join the quiz. So this quiz is based on the complex permanent tissue, both xylem as well as phloem. So let us see how much you understood in today's class and yesterday's class also. So I'm going to share the screen. So on your screen, You will now see the game pin. So enter this and join super fast. I want to see who is the fastest person today to join the quiz. Okay, I hope you can see the game pin now. Okay, so Sri Krishna joined first, next Yes, then Sneha, Sri Gauri, Tanisha, Kunal, Manya, everybody. Okay, so very nice. Okay, you guys were fast enough. Okay, so last 10 seconds. Okay, so please join real quick. Okay, so there you go. I'm going to start the quiz. Okay, so let us see who will answer all the questions today's quiz. So first question on your screen now. So that's been my time. Okay, so thank you so much. The last question. So you are expected to write the complex permanent tissue. Okay, because that is the main category. Okay, so under complex permanent tissue, you have xylem and phloem. Okay, so you should write the main thing, the complex permanent tissue. Okay, so very nice. Okay, so the song that I played is called In My Mind. Okay, so very nice song. So that was today's song of the day. So with that, I'm going to end today's class. So thank you so much. So see you again tomorrow.